Just like that, we're back. Views from Section 400. Matt, Jack, Brian, bringing you another action-packed episode. It's the Views from Section 400. No, you're not going to get me all fired up about the Sixers. We're down 3-2 still. It's going back to South Philadelphia. We're back at the center. The Knicks aren't taking over South Philly again. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to get fired up about it. But Tyrese Maxey, where were you when he saved the season? I know where I was, plopped down on my couch, celebrating the end of Tobias Harris, which has now been prolonged an extra day. Boys, welcome to the episode. Action-packed, as I always like to say. Winners and losers will be right up. We'll get into all the NBA, NHL playoff action, as well as a couple other stories in the world of sports. But red hot topic, red hot segment on Views from Section 400 is the winners and losers of the week. Jack, I will throw it over to you to kick us off.
Appreciate it, Matt. You know me, I like giving winners. I don't like giving losers, man. Maybe I just won't come here with any losers anymore. But that's not the case this time. I'm going to give you a loser right here, right now. It's going to be Tom Brady this Sunday. I don't know if you guys saw or not, but Tom Brady is going to be on a Netflix special. He's getting roasted by the likes of Bill Belichick, Julian Edelman, Gronkowski. It's going to be electric. I can't wait for it. Are you guys going to be tuning in? I bought my Netflix subscription 2 days ago for it.
I mean, I'll probably watch it.
Out of all people in the world to break that news to me, my mom sent me an Instagram from Netflix that said the roast that Tom Brady was having on Friday. I don't know how I'm going to be able to watch it because the Netflix staff, I guess, is cracking down on family accounts. So I can't even watch Netflix on my TV without making it our home household. So Netflix, figure that out because we pay enough money where we should all be able to watch your streaming service. Kind of sucks now anyway. But yeah, should be a good roast. Who do they got on there?
I saw Bill Belichick, Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski. I would have to go back to the well to find all the names on it, but you know those three guys are going to provide plenty of comedy. I mean, those are if you think about Tom Brady's career, it's those three as the big three outside of like Randy Moss and maybe a Wes Welker. You know what I mean?
We don't know Tom behind the scenes like that, but on the cover, what are they going to roast the guy about? Being such a sore loser, always wanting to win, the guy always wanting to be the best. I mean, how much fire do they really have on Tom fucking Brady?
I don't know, man. I that's what I'm excited about. I'm pretty sure I saw that it's a live event, so we could get some fireworks, man.
Yeah, I still don't really know what the TB12 diet is, but I'm sure that'll be a hot topic where they'll just talk about him like eating magic beans and being able to play like he's 20.
Smoothies.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on to my winner. Touched on it already somehow. We're 5 minutes into the show. But Tyrese Maxey, man. I mean, look, everyone was saying it all year. He's really developed into that superstar. He just did it on the national stage, bringing down the Knicks. They're still down 3-2. They're going to lose the series. I have no doubt that Jalen Brunson, my boy Josh Hart, they're going to come through. Knicks are friends of the pods. They're going to get the job done. But Tyrese Maxey, man, when Joel Embiid looks like he's done and doesn't give a crap about the series anymore, Tyrese Maxey stands up and gets the job done. He's become quite the impressive player in this league. I'm really happy for him.
Damn right.
I showed out. We'll see if he shows out at the center. Matt, you said that in the intro, and I almost stopped you. I know the Bank's obviously a big nickname down in Philly, but are people calling the Wells Fargo Center the center now?
We call it the center all the time. Heard it on the radio. I think it was 97.5. One of the guys said, it was a regular season game, I think a year, like maybe last season, and a guy called it the center. And I just love the nickname, man, because now we have the Link, the Bank, and the center. So I'm all for the nicknames of the stadiums.
Yeah. Yeah, New York really doesn't. I guess you have MSG, but.
Oh, yeah, Jet Life.
Yeah, I guess I teed you up for that one.
You really did.
You really did.
I mean, yeah, I was on a silver platter. I didn't even need to hesitate. So thanks. Anyway, winners and losers, I guess I can jump into it. My winner of the week is going to be the Philadelphia Phillies for being the first team to get to 20 wins. I didn't even think they were going to fucking pull that off. And they did. First team in baseball to 20 wins. I know it's still early in the season, but they're red hot and they're neck and neck with the Atlanta Braves. It's probably only a matter of time until they do a small collapse and then have to have a heart attack end of the season to battle for a wild card. But I'll take it right now, man. The team's red hot. Wheeler's red hot. The lineup's starting to come around. It's getting warmer weather in Philadelphia. The team just went on a West Coast swing out in California. They come home this weekend to hopefully some nice weather. The bats will stay red hot. Alec Boehm's the best player in baseball. Yes, you heard that correctly. And the Phillies are the first team in the MLB to 20 wins. Winner of the week right there. Brian, what's your reaction, Mr. Met?
Well, I think I could find solace in the fact the last couple of years, the Phillies have started off shitty and then got hot at the end. So I'm just going to go with the mindset that this is the year they start off hot and then play like shit at the end.
We'll see. I mean, there's definitely reason to believe that based on the trend, but this team is just built for October. They've proven that already.
Look, in a 162 game season, doesn't matter if you're 20 games in, 40 games in, 100 games in. Anytime your team's red hot, you'll take it, right?
Damn right. Couldn't agree anymore. But my loser of the week is going to be Tracy Morgan for flipping off the Sixers. Specifically, I think he flipped off Tyrese Maxey, who dropped almost 50 points. So Tracy Morgan, love the movies, man. Was a huge cop. What was it? Cop Out with Bruce Willis. That movie was electric when I was a kid. Why are you flipping him off, man? You look like a clown.
Some board material.
Something with New Yorkers and flipping off Philly fans. Eli had the double bird a couple years ago.
Yeah. It was nuts, dude. But either way, that's my winners and losers of the week. Brian, we'll let you wrap up this segment, and we'll see what you got rocking. Bring out the book, dude. You look like you're ready to read off a novel.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple winners that I really have to choose from here, but I'm only going to give you one. And it's really between two. But, I'll give you my winner of the week will be gamblers. So Dave & Buster's is allowing people to gamble on arcade games starting soon. Loyalty members that with the card can gamble up to $5 on their favorite arcade games. So my main thinking here, the era of the deadbeat dad that misses his son's birthday to go gamble at the casino, that may be over. Now you can gamble on Johnny versus Billy in a little skee ball competition.
I mean, look, dads have been exchanging it on Venmo for the past 5-10 years. So now Dave & Buster's wants their cut. I don't know, man. It sounds like a good idea, but who's gonna let them get in on that? If you want to wager against your friend, just toss it over Venmo or something like that. Toss some cash. Don't let the middleman in.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't really think about that, but you're kind of just paying the middleman for what could be a side bet.
Yeah, like it's not even the same. Like I still rather take the Little League props instead of the skee ball props.
I love betting on flag
football props, man. Let me bet on the Pee Wee teams with my buddy and his kid instead of a skee ball. And now I have to loop in a middleman. Screw that. Dave & Buster's, he ain't slick.
Yeah, Dave.
At least at Buster's you can get some beers. I think it'd be frowned upon to bring a case of beer to the Little League game.
Oh, people!
It's frowned upon, but is it illegal?
Have you ever seen travel mugs, tumblers, Stanley fucking cups? People booze at their children's recreational travel high school sporting events. I've seen it, and I've done it at my little brother's.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've been a part of this culture as well.
Yeah, so, you got to hide it.
You do. That just makes it a little more fun.
It does. There's a little element of badass in there.
For sure. The Zins are low key. Like, I'm not out there ripping cigs. It's good vibes. But either way, yeah, they're looping in a middleman.
I guess that could have been my loser then. But my loser of the week will be the city of Toronto, Ontario. Now, the Maple Leafs did get a win. They're alive in their series. But shortly after they did get the win, Toronto's ambassador of the world, Drake, got absolutely bodied by Kendrick Lamar for 6 minutes on a diss track where Kendrick basically called him a woman, just went on about ghostwriters for a while, said the whole industry hates him and he's not worried about him. And he made the point that he held back a lot of information. So people were excited about Drake's little push-ups diss track, but I think Kendrick might have just ended the beef.
Yeah, I don't. I haven't really been tuning into the beef over there, but I hope to see some diss tracks. I mean, they're always fun, right?
Yeah, I'll put it that way. I've heard about the beef, but I don't know what the beef is.
Yeah, it's
Why is there beef?
it's a long kind of convoluted story, but
Well, I don't have time for it. Moving on, the NBA, baby.
Yeah, damn right. Thanks for doing that, Jack, because I did not need to hear that story either.
Cheers.
NBA playoffs, though, right? I mean, touched a little bit on the Sixers, and I said it pre-pod. I'm not jumping in to the whole get on delusional Sixers train. There's still a job to do. Like the late, great Kobe said, job's not finished. What's there to be happy about? You're not going to get the reaction, the content, the clip-worthy shit. It's not happening. We got to go take care of business down at the center, South Philly tomorrow, or tonight when you guys are watching this. And then we wrap shit up game 7 in the Garden. How poetic. How poetic. But it was always going 7 games. Crazy how we got to this point, but it's always going 7. We'll see what happens tomorrow down in South Philly. But I know Brian had the West Coast listed first, so we'll let him run through that. Nuggets, gentlemen sweeping the Lakers. LeBron was good enough to get him one, like I said, but other than that,
Jamal Murray is the game winners in this series that are just so impressive. I mean, it's the type of shit where you're like, there's just no way that they lose another series. Having said that, there are some damn good teams in the West that they're going to have to beat if they want to even get to the finals. So, as good as the Nuggets have looked, man, let's talk about the Timberwolves, who they're going to have to face in the next round. Anthony Edwards is him. There's no doubt about that. And I don't know if anybody saw on our Instagram story the other day, but I reposted a meme of basically said, Anthony Edwards is really freaking good if he's got me rooting for a team with Rudy Gobert on it. And I thought that was hilarious. I'm with it 100%. I do not like Rudy Gobert by any means, but Anthony Edwards, yeah, I'm cheering for him to go win himself a ring, regardless of the fact that he's got Rudy and Cat on his team.
I love that there's no Lakers and no Suns. It's just different now, and I like different. So I'm really excited for this series and excited to see what OKC talk about different. Excited to see what OKC does on the other side.
I've been saying the Nuggets are probably we've all really been saying they're probably just going to repeat, but I might be leaning Anthony Edwards and the T-Wolves in this series, partly because Michael Porter Jr.'s mental health may just take a fat dip here. His other brother just got a DWI after his other brother killed a woman with a DUI, and his other brother got banned from the NBA for gambling. So he's been playing well, but his mental health has to be in shambles. And if they lose him, the Timberwolves have shown they can play with anybody.
Well, he just jumped on the Nelk Boys podcast like the other day, and he seemed completely fine.
I think this happened today or Wednesday.
Yeah, I just started seeing clips about it today. So maybe he was on it yesterday. I don't know, but he seemed fine. They were going over his $30 million a year contract that he collects. So I believe he'll have the funds to bail out whoever he needs to bail out. He did say, the money doesn't really change me. The only thing I like is being able to take care of friends and family. So I think he'll have enough money to take care of that.
He needs to round up his family and for the remainder of the playoffs and just have them in a house, have them, catered to, have people go out and grab them meals and whatever they need and just have them chill. They cannot be leaving the house right now and putting this man under any more stress. I hope he's all right, man. Shout out the Porter family. But yeah, Matt, OKC looking good. I don't know who I don't think either of these teams are going to beat them. We still have one series left over in the West between the Clippers and the Mavericks. Great series so far. Definitely a series I was looking forward to from the start. Who would you rather see OKC play? I know that's our team. We have the future on them. I think they get the job done either way. But if you've got to pick between the Mavericks and the Clippers, who are you gonna pick?
Think I'd rather have them play the Clippers.
Is
I mean,
Kawhi done for the playoffs?
he's in and out.
Yeah.
He's such a weird
Nobody.
situation. Yeah.
He's got knee inflammation to the point where he definitely needs like surgery in the off season or something like that. But it's just sort of the thing where like you probably have to like drain your knee because of all the inflammation, and then it's sore, and you can probably play like one game or two games, and then you have to take another few days off, that kind of thing.
I'd rather play the Clippers just because, like, fuck the Clippers. And it would be cool to see Luka and Kyrie win. So just to avoid that scenario, I'm rooting for the Clippers to move on.
Well, that's not very fair. I would like to see Dallas win. So either way, I'm happy with whoever wins the series, and I can just enjoy the shit out of it. Love what the Mavs are doing. I really have no interest in seeing the Clippers go far. Never been a James Harden guy. Kawhi's not really playing. Russell Westbrook, Paul George. They have the guys, dude. They really do, but I don't want to see them there. Like Matt said, let's see some change.
See some change, dude, and that's what we're getting in the West. The East is still kind of the same. I guess the Knicks are the 2 seed, so that's a little different. But it's been the Celtics and the Bucks who have kind of ran that. I know the Bucks have their own issues right now, and is that game tonight?
Yeah.
They'll play tomorrow.
No.
They played last.
They played
It will be tonight. Thursday night.
I'm gonna watch it, but the Celtics take a big hit with Porzingis. Does that falter them? Are they now prone to an upset, or is it going to be, don't skip a beat? I think that might hurt them a little bit, as now they don't really have a big man.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, Al Horford will have to step into that role, and he's done it before. But
He's old.
Heath
He's
Coulter's dead. Heath
an
Coulter's
old
dead.
man.
he's gonna. But I feel like him and Bam have gone at it for years before, so he can probably step into that role and handle himself.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I think the Celtics could be susceptible to a little bit of trouble in paradise, if you know what I mean.
If
Might
he's
not
out,
be as sunshine and rainbows as they like to say.
if he's out for an extended period of time, maybe. But they're not going to lose the series to the Heat.
Yeah,
No, I don't know. I don't mean that. I mean, isn't Porzingis out for the playoffs?
I think I know they confirmed that he was out for this game, but I think I saw something that he was going to be out for like a week or so.
Got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, a week will be like game 2, game 3 next series. They'll be fine.
Yeah, but how about the Pacers and Bucks, man? That has been quite the interesting series. Bucks game 1, no Giannis, but with Dame, looked dominant. Looked like they were going to take the series easily. Dame gets hurt. They lose a couple games. They're down 3-1. And all of a sudden, in a game where they don't have Giannis, don't have Dame, and Chris Middleton's hopping around on one leg, they pull out a win. And now it's 3-2. You guys think that they have a shot to come back and win this or no?
Sixers have a better shot to win their series than the Bucks do to win that series. You don't know, even with Dame, no Giannis, no series win. It's as simple as a formula as that. You don't have Giannis, you're not winning the series, and we've seen it to be true so far. Hopefully they don't make me eat my words, but I think the Pacers are going to wrap this one up.
It would be funny if the Bucks did win, because then we'd have both in-season championship teams knocked out in the first round of the actual playoffs.
The in-season championship was such a joke, dude. They had that in like the beginning of December. It wasn't even like, it was such a joke.
Apparently the players loved it. They just came out with the anonymous poll, and one of the questions was, do you think Adam Silver's done a good job? And they all voted A, and most of them said because the in-season tournament was a good addition, and they all wanted to win the money.
Tell you get your approval ratings up.
Yeah, I don't buy it. Either way, I need your guys' raw reactions. Well, Jack, you might be the only one, and you're like kind of a New York guy, so you're a Philly hater as well. But do the Sixers win tomorrow or tonight to force Game 7? Think of the ratings. Think of the viewership. Would that game then be on Saturday? I think so. NBA is going to want a Game 7 on Saturday in the Garden.
That would be Saturday in the Garden.
NBA, think of what the NBA wants here. Let your Philly hate push that to the side for a second and think of what the NBA wants.
Look, I could see that happening, but I could also see the NBA saying, you know what, this New York team is litty in the city. We're not letting them push this to a Game 7, not letting them lose in this first round. And they send it on to round 2. Say, let's prepare to host. Well, I mean, then you think about it. It's like, let's prepare to host the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Orlando Magic. Like, Cleveland, Orlando, like who's coming to New York for that to the Garden, bro? Like it's not like a Philly game. So maybe they do push it to 7. Brian, what do you think?
I'm not worried about what the NBA wants. I'm worried about what Jalen Brunson wants, and Jalen Brunson wants to win Game 6 and close it out, and he will.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna be with Brian on this one, and Matt. I am rooting for the Knicks over Philly, 100%. I'm rooting for the Knicks in the
So
East.
there you have it, guys. The Philly hate cannot be put aside, and they're all in on the Knicks. Fair enough, but you got to think of what the NBA wants, and the NBA wants Game 7. Adam Silver wants Game 7. Everybody be tuning in from around the world in a Game 7, winner take all at the Garden. It just makes sense. It was always Game 7. I'll see you guys in New York.
I will say you have been preaching Game 7 that this was going to be a 7-game series from the start.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Brian preached it too, and now he's all Jalen Brunson wants to close it out in 6. So that's flip-flop Brian for you.
New York already got its Game 7. They had Cheeseball Man eat a full tub of cheese balls in Central Park. That was their Game 7.
Here we go. That was pretty electric, by the way.
Wait, before we move on from NBA, do we want to talk about the biggest block in Cavaliers history? Evan Mobley on Franz Wagner.
Man, that was almost my winner of the week is Evan Mobley, man. I watched that whole game. He's just been awesome around the rim, man. His rim protection is, I mean, dare I say, underrated. Was he in the conversation for Deep Boy?
I don't think so. I think he had injury issues this year, if I remember correctly, where he missed a bit of time.
Yeah, he might have not gotten to the 60, 62 games you need.
Yeah, regardless, that man is a force around the rim and just as good as anybody. Rudy, Cat, doesn't matter. He's just as good as any of them.
Do you both agree with me? It's the biggest block in Cavaliers history?
No.
I was expecting a bigger reaction after I said that.
No, that's
Well,
crazy. I didn't even hear you say that. I thought you maybe said like one of the biggest blocks.
I heard him say that. I knew he was just being a jackass by saying it. That's why I got no reaction out of me, because it's just nonsensical.
The biggest block in Cavalier history since LeBron left them for the second time.
When it's something that outrageous, you're not getting a reaction. I'm not wasting my breath on that, which I'm now doing right now.
That was
moving on.
Biggest block. Give me a break. That was when I was in prime Warriors dynasty fanboy. That block occurred. So I was not a fan.
Blocked by James.
I was not a fan. And obviously cheering on Iguodala, former Sixer great. It was not a great sight for him either.
NBA Finals MVP Andre Iguodala.
Great player. But yeah, I think we can roll into Brian, loser of the week, for saying the Capitals are going to get one game against the Rangers, and they got swept out. As everyone predicted, the easiest prediction, mortal lock. Capital swept. Brian, your reaction.
Yeah, Capital One Arena is down to the sports book now until next winter. The Wizards suck and the Capitals suck. So all they got is the Caesars Sportsbook. That's a piece of shit.
It is a piece of shit. Didn't we walk by that when we were at the DC game, or is that like just a branch of it?
We walked by the Nats Park Sportsbook. That's also a piece of shit. Of the
Dude,
Capital
it's
One.
like just like a little glass building, like corner store of an MGM sportsbook. It is the absolute most piece of shit thing I've ever seen in my life.
Its sole purpose is just so people can bet in DC.
Yeah, well, the Caps had no business being in the playoffs, and they showed that by getting swept. Simple as that. Go Rangers.
I won't say go Rangers, but yeah, they had no business being in the playoffs. And Jack's Panthers, my Avalanche, moving on in the respective series. Brian's Maple Leafs have some work to do.
Still alive.
We're still alive. Didn't they win that game last night without Matthews or 2 nights ago?
Yeah, in overtime.
Like, what a bitch he is for not playing that game.
Hanging on by a thread.
Hanging on by a thread, dude. That's another series where if they tie it up, who knows? But the Bruins seem like they'll be able to get that done.
Speaking of calling professional sports players bitches and pussies, I'd like to retract what I said about Evan Neal the other day. I still don't like you because you're from Bama, but you're not a pussy. Brian, when you made that edit and put my face next to Evan Neal and his body, I said no. I said no, thank you. No, thank you, sir. I apologize.
You gotta be careful what you say on here, dude. Brian just takes fucking sentences, manipulates them how he wants them to be manipulated. Throws someone else's head in there, and then throws it up on for the world to see.
He called him a pussy. I mean, Jack did say that.
Look, Brian's got a deep fake.
Brian's rebuttal. Well, you did say that.
Brian's got a deep fake app. He's able to distort our voices, make us say things that we never really said. Don't believe anything that you ever hear.
All right. Well, Evan, if you have an issue, you can talk to me. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Settle it in the trenches.
Brian. What did you have a reaction to your Maple Leafs, Brian? You seem pretty just sold on them being toast.
I mean, they won. I'm happy. They're alive. I'm not really too thrilled about the fact they're down 3-2 and that they're playing Boston. But hey, crazier things have happened.
All right, let's get into a couple sports stories around the world before we wrap this show up. Starting with your New York Mets trying to steal the show with Dollar Dog Night.
Dollar Dog Night was a huge success. 44,269 hot dogs consumed at Citi Field.
Which isn't that crazy of a number considering the stadium usually holds about 40,000 people or 44. That's like one hot dog a person.
Yeah, but you got to think there's the attendance last night was 23 because it was a Tuesday night and it was cold. But you got to think there's kids and old people that don't really eat them. But there was one guy who did the most overrated challenge, I think, in baseball, the 9-9-9, 9 beers, 9 hot dogs, 9 innings. It's easy work. I don't understand why it's still a challenge.
You did not do it.
I've done it in like 4 opening days. I skipped it this year, but every opening day. You're talking to a kid that drank 6 beers in 3.5 minutes.
Woo! Badass.
I did witness that. And I don't know if he killed the last one. We had a Luke Jeets Steratore in for the ruling on the last beer.
I mean, either way, it would have been it would have been a sub 4 if I did finish the last one. If I didn't finish the last one, allegedly. But yeah, no, there was the guy that did the 999. He got kicked out for inciting a riot. He finished the 999, got up, started pumping up the crowd. The Mets players in the dugout turned around and started clapping for him. Immediately, everybody in the section that had unfinished hot dogs just started pelting him with wieners. Like, not the wrappers, just like full-on wieners.
Or they just fucking using those things as throwing knives.
Just using them as throwing knives, just throwing wieners at the guy.
Oh,
well, how did he incite the riot? He can't control people just being jackasses.
Yeah, he was the first jackass, and then everybody followed suit.
Well, the Mets should learn a lesson from the Philly fans because they will go and strip your rights of Dollar Dog Night if you're not careful. Because they did it in Philly, and now they just call it BOGO Night, where it's buy one, get one free, and it's a total joke.
Yeah, I'm sure Dollar Dog Night will be back at least one more time at Citi Field. The best part of the night on the SNY broadcast, so they have Steve Gelbs, the sideline reporter. He was dressed up in a hot dog costume, and he had a pitch counter, and he was clocking the amount of hot dogs the concession stand was selling in every half inning. He got to 102 and a half inning. But either way, there's these lunatics behind him with the body paint that says "I love wieners," and they're chanting, "We want wieners." And he goes, "The Mets really got themselves a hit tonight." And then Gary Cohen on the broadcast goes, "As the guys are chanting, 'We want wiener,' seems like they are consuming more than hot dogs." And the conversation just ended. The half inning ended. Favorite part of the whole night there. No words.
I mean, what do you want me to say?
Just baffled, really.
Yeah. I'm speechless. I think I spoke volumes there. I think me and Matt both did.
I'd rather move on to Johnny Football dating Jose Canseco's daughter, who is a total rocket, by the way.
Definitely.
She is a smoke show. But Johnny Football, I mean, maybe 15 years ago, hon. But now?
Well, Johnny Football is clean now.
Even worse.
You're making a good point there.
I don't know. She's got to have some issues after all the juicing that Canseco did. Like his body is definitely not in the best shape to breed children.
Yeah, I don't think either of them are really role models by any means.
You're probably
She
right.
is absolutely stunning, though.
Well, good for Johnny Football, man. I mean, look, he's on TV, he's in the commercials. Pretty sure I don't know if he retired from football or not. He was playing in like the UFL or whatever for a while.
He
Or
was
the
in the
XFL.
UFL, the fan-controlled football league with Josh Gordon. He played in the CFL for a little bit. I think he's retired though. I think he's about done with all the nonsense.
Retired now. Well, I mean, we know he's very involved with college football and the Heisman Trophy. Still in those commercials, so he was a huge advocate to get Reggie his Heisman back too. So
Yeah.
shout out Johnny Football for that.
I got some breaking news here. Francisco Lindor has been pulled from the game in the third inning. That's not great. Oh, he's sick. All right, never mind. We're good. Keeping it on the baseball front, though, my winner of the week that I decided to not choose instead of Dave and Buster's. Do you guys see the mound of beehives that was behind the Diamondbacks dugout? Or behind home plate in the Diamondbacks Mariners game?
Yeah, then they brought the guy out and he threw out the first pitch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, the Bees just wanted to catch a nice game and they delayed the whole
I think the
stop.
loser of the week there is the Diamondbacks grounds crew.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
It's probably rattled. There was like 200 bees just sitting there. I don't really blame them.
I don't blame them, but at the end of the day, you're a grounds crew. Like, somebody's got to take accountability and responsibility there and make sure that gets cleaned up.
I mean, I feel like you see that going, you just evacuate like the section right behind home plate and just grab like the two relievers that never get into the game and just have them chuck balls at the bees. I guess that's inhumane and maybe PETA would not like that, but it seems like a pretty decent strategy to clear the beehive.
Go grab Miguel Castro. Have him do it.
He's still around.
Or you're a Major League Baseball franchise. Why don't you just bring in just an exterminator? Professional. Be done with that. Don't subject your franchise to this shame.
They must have congregated pretty close to first pitch. I feel like that's something that they should have figured out. But also the Seattle Mariners, whoever controls their social media, during the delay, typed up it was probably a copy and paste, but I'd like to think that he or she typed up the whole first 20 minutes of the B movie script and posted it as a tweet.
Well, they surely had some time to kill.
It was a very long tweet.
Wow. I mean, they probably just copy and pasted it, no?
It would have been a long copy and paste, but I guess it would have been a long write up anyway. The Rays came out with their City Connect jerseys and they got Stingrays riding skateboards.
Stingrays riding skateboards.
Yep.
Okay.
On the sleeve, it's a stingray riding a skateboard in neon colors.
I've walked the streets of St. Petersburg before. There is nobody riding on skateboards, let alone stingrays on skateboards. I understand that stingray, but why? I saw 0 people riding on skateboards. Please explain the connection.
Yeah. When's the last time you've seen a stingray on a skateboard, dude?
Let alone a sting. How about just try a person on the streets of fucking St. Pete? Haven't seen it. And I've walked the streets. Can confirm, boots on the ground, doesn't happen.
I think the connection there is they're going back to the old Devil Rays, and it's like a stingray being a daredevil on a skateboard.
No.
You're digging deep, dude.
No.
Why else would it ride the skateboard?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, you know what, Brian? Why are the curtains blue? You know, tell me why the curtains are blue. Personify that, bitch. Come on.
Man, I'd like to have explanations for things.
You're not getting one out of me. Doesn't look like Matt's ready to give you one either.
I got nothing. Denny Hamlin in NASCAR called out on a podcast that he was going to win at Dover, and he won at Dover. So that was pretty nuts this past weekend. But that was, I mean, Goff has been pretty dead since Scotty won the back-to-back weeks.
Oh, Mike Trout's hurt again.
Ugh.
Getting surgery on his knee.
Yeah, it's not really I mean, it's a almost $10 million purse in Goff, but there's not a lot of big names in it.
Oh, here's an update. Alek Manoah faced off against #1 prospect Paul Skeens last night. Skeens was his dominant self, 6 innings pitched, 7 Ks. Manoah, 6 innings pitched, only 1 run, 12 Ks.
There you go. That's the 8K I know.
Probably cut that ERA down to about 8.
Look, man, everybody's got off nights. You gotta find your stride. You go through off stretches. Like, you just gotta find your stride, get back to it. He's gonna be better than ever. Just watch him. He'll be back to being an all-star in a year or two.
I don't think he's ever going to pitch in the major leagues again.
Got the contract. Not gonna do it anymore.
Nope. Oh, some other good news that Anthony Edwards probably had a direct impact in. The U.S. House has voted to remove wolves from the endangered list.
Remove them?
Yep, so apparently the wolves are seeing Anthony Edwards' success, and they're all fucking, and they're repopulating.
Probably a lot better than we are.
So shout out wolves.
Shout out to the Wolves.
Shout out them fucking wolves, man.
I think that's about as off the rails as we need to get.
That's pretty off the rails, man. You're telling the Wolves are fucking each other because of Ann Edwards? Yeah, I think we've established the fucking rabbit hole. It always happens. We go from fucking beehives to Jose Canseco's daughter to now the Wolves are fucking each other because of Ann Edwards. So that's a great time to wrap it up. As always, the views from Section 400, one of our better episodes. So make sure you give us the like, thumbs up, comment, subscribe. We're almost at 100 subscribers. So please, I'll give you a cookie if you give us a subscription. I just baked them tonight. They're homemade, very good cookies. All seriousness, like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Go Phils, but better yet, I'll see you tomorrow night or tonight in South Philly at the center. Go Sixers.
You are now in the mix with DJ Savage.
Hepatitis, see you later, Coymore.
Jalen Brunson, you're my hero.